Have you ever heard the saying, practice makes perfect? You probably have, and I have too. However, I find it to be a little inaccurate. In my life, there have been three important events that have proved this inaccuracy. First, the time I drove a semi when I was 8 years old. Second, the first time I put my car in the ditch. And third, when I got my speeding ticket. Let's move into the first time I drove a semi. So, the semi was my grandpa's International 9370, and that's the truck right there. It has a Cat 3406B engine with a manual transmission that's in 13 speed. It was my first time driving a manual transmission, and I was so excited because all I'd ever get to drive before that was a little Gator around the farm, and those things are slow. Now, I was 8 years old, ready to hit the open highway, except my dad wouldn't let me. So, I ended up having to drive around in the back of the field when we were combining corn one day, but it was still awesome. When I went to stop the truck, my feet were too short to reach the clutch to push it in all the way. So I pressed the clutch and I pressed the brake and I killed the truck. It was kind of embarrassing because I was finally doing something that was so fun and then I thought I broke it. But it was okay. Turns out everybody does it. Move on with my life. Now that I've told you about the first time I drove a semi, now I'll move on to my first time in the ditch. Alright, so picture this. It's my 16th birthday. I'm super excited. I finally have my official driver's license because I've just had my farmer's permit before this. I'm ready to go to Faribault. Well, my birthday's in December, so the roads are all ice. But, you know, me being the 16-year-old kid, I think, oh, I can handle it. My first time driving on ice, I'm so confident. I'm going down the road. I'm going a little fast, but I think it's okay, I can do this. I hit the brakes because I'm coming near a stop sign, near a farm driveway, and all of a sudden, boom, I'm in the ditch, right there. That's my driveway, mind you. So, I made it maybe a quarter of a mile down the road. Now, when I went in the ditch, first thing I thought was, am I hurt? Am I okay? Why didn't the airbags go off? What's going on? I get out of the car, and I have to get out through the window because my door can't open. And I'm looking, I thought, oh no. And let me tell you, that first phone call to your parents is always the hardest. But trust me, they do get easier. Now that I've talked to you about my first time in the ditch, I'll talk to you about the time I got my speeding ticket. So a lot of you already know this story, but I'm going to get a little bit more elaborate with this. So me and a friend of mine were just leaving Perkins and Faribault, and we were coming out under the underpass. I'm going the speed limit, and he's going slower for some reason. Probably on his phone, I don't know. So I pass him going the speed limit, and all of a sudden, coming through the stoplight by the Dairy Queen, he flies past me. But of course, when he flies past me, he flew past the cop too. Next thing I know, my mirror's full of red and blues, and I'm getting pulled over for a speeding ticket. Ever since this incident, everyone knows me as T-Slow, thanks to Mr. Richards. But I think that's really unfair, because I actually did beat my friend back to Waterville that night. Now, I haven't gotten a ticket yet, and I have my suspicions why. You see, the 60 zone starts there, and he pulled me over down there. So, my only logical explanation is, he was in the wrong, because he said I was speeding in a 45. Now that I've talked to you about these three events have shaped me into who I am today. They have taught me, these three events were the first time I drove a semi, first time in the ditch, and the time I got my speeding ticket. These three events have shaped me into who I am today. They've taught me life lessons and taught me to look forward to things for better or for worse.